So number one, the plot. Now, the story, the plot, the campaign, whatever you want to call it, all right, is absolutely phenomenal. There is not many games I will go back, and I have completed that game now 7 times. I have done every different difficulty of this game because it's so immersive and I like it so much. And I love anime and Japanese culture. So another reason that I was drawn so much to this game is that amazing story. Now let me explain a little bit of the story to you. And shout out to everyone who's watching this video. So the plot. In 1274, a Mongol fleet led by Kotal Khan, who is essentially the whole bad guy of this whole thing, invades the Japanese island of Toshima, which is the island you're currently on. Local samurai lord Jin Sakai, the character that you play as, and his uncle Lord Shimura, who is he's like your father figure in the game, lead the island samurais in an attempt to repel invaders. He is found and revealed by Yuna, a thief, who informs him the island has fallen. The game start. Oh my god. The start of the game is so beautiful. Okay? It's like the rage before the storm. Because you start the game, you're in your full armor. You ride off into war. You ride off into a battle. There's just a beautiful sequence of you and several of your men riding into battle. You know, you get to kind of explore what your character will be like at later stages in the game, even though you haven't got any sort of upgrades or anything yet. You're just visually fully upgraded and you look like a boss. You have a fight with Kotal Khan at the start of the game. He massacres you. I have played this game numerous times, as I've told you guys, and I have tried to defeat him. You cannot defeat him at the start of the game. It's purposely made to build character. Okay, he literally breaks you, throws you off a cliff, into the abyss of the water. And you have to use your skills as a samurai, develop the ways of the ghost as well, which aren't ways that the samurai may honor or like. You may have to do things that you may not want to do to become the ghost of Toshima and save the island of Toshima. That plot, without me even delving into any DLC or anything like that, and there is some really great, like you meet some enemies, you meet some friends that become enemies, you know, you meet so many interesting and different people. The game feels so immersed, the world feels near enough alive. Like, I cannot describe how brilliant that story is. I have waited for a samurai game like this to be so immersive, so expansive, and make me generally feel like I did not waste my money and I got my money's worth. That game, if that game was £80, I would have spent £80. It is a fantastic and phenomenal game, and I'm underselling it right now. You guys need to go and check it out. Another reason as well that I think is epic with Ghost of Tsushima is also PS1, PS5 playable, but it's going to be on PC at some point in the future, because PlayStation are letting a lot of PC users play a lot of their games due to a deal that they currently have going on, because you're going to be able to play God of War soon. Could you imagine playing this on like a gaming laptop? Absolutely beautiful game. But that's my first part. So the first reason why I like this game so much is the story. That story is very immersive. Absolutely brilliant story. Let's go on to part 2. Okay, number 2, free roaming. Free roaming in this game feels very immersive. It's not there is like a linear story. There is a story, but there is side quests. There are collectibles. There are items you can find. There is areas that you can free. So, for example, I've just explained the plot. The Mongols and Kotal Khan have taken over the island of Tsushima. You need to basically liberate the island. By liberating the island, this is a mechanic that's been in several different games, and I guess rinse and repeat. You know, don't fix something when it's not broken. You got to liberate a lot of islands and towns and farms, villages, other different areas, strongholds, whatever it may be, that have been taken over by the Mongols. Now, this reminds me a lot of Far Cry and a lot of other games that I've played where I've had to take over outposts and stuff like that. But with this game, the reason why I prefer doing Ghost of Tsushima to other games when it comes to taking outposts and all that stuff, every outpost or area that you go to, there's normally like a general or a captain or like a big bad there. You can take down the outposts in many different ways. So you could be the samurai, you could be honorable, walk up to the town, call out the biggest fighter and go into like a little duel with that person, and then kind of initiate that. You're at wherever you are and you're there for business. Or you can do it the ghost way, where you're sneaky, you go in, you smoke bombs, you use kunais, and you're just very quick, very sharp. So there is a lot of choice when it comes to just that one aspect of free roaming. I also like the fact that for free roaming, you can swim, you can run, you can walk. You have a beautiful horse that you get to ride. I love my horse. I love my horse in that game. That you get to choose as well. You also get to name your horse. It's very immersive for a game. Another free roaming aspect that I love of the game is, and this is gonna sound silly, and maybe it's down to the visuals, is the weather, the change of the weather, the wind as well. Oh my! So in this game, right? I know that it's not turned on, but if my PS4 controller was turned on right now, if you press up on the directional pad in any sort of way facing upwards, you will hear the wind through the controller. The wind guides you in this game, which is very anime. But the wind literally guides you in this game. So you will see visual wind on screen that will show you where to go. I think that is the best compass, directional guide option I've ever seen in a game. Because visually it looks great, it sounds great, and it makes you feel like the world is interacting with you even more so. So that's another aspect of why free roaming in that game is so great. You can go straight to like a bigger area, but the thing is with that game, because it's off a progression, if you go too far up the map, like the enemies start to get very, 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 very overpowered. There are certain parts that you can't reach yet due to limitations in the game, like you have to progress a bit further in the story. But free roaming feels so cool in that game. You look at a mountain, you're like, I want to climb that mountain. You can go do that. You want to go save the town? Go save the town. You want to go for a swim? Go for a swim. There's like haikus as well, like within an aspect of free roaming. That's just one of the like little quests that you can do. You can make poetry. You can play a flute. You can there's so many different cool little immersive bits regarding the free roaming aspect of the game. I love how you can just do what you want to do in that game. If you don't want to do a particular mission, that's fine. You want to just roam around the world and stop bandits, that's also fine. You want to trade your items to try and upgrade your character and just focus on that progression at that moment in time, that's fine. Ghost of Tsushima gives you the option to do so many different things. But I think we should get into part 3. The upgrade system in Ghost of Tsushima. So in Ghost of Tsushima, you have the option to either do the way of the samurai or you can do the way of the ghost. You have different options of things that you can upgrade. You can upgrade stances. There are a total of 4 stances in the game because you don't really use guns in any way at all. You use swords, arrows, shields, and that's another thing that I love about the game. They made it more realistic, because if I could get an AK-47 in that game, everybody would be done. You have to time your attacks. You have to time your abilities. You have to change your stances for different enemy types. So, for example, you can't just level up one particular stance till it's full level and then just think, okay, I'll use the wind stance to take everybody on. Like one of the OP stances in that game, I would say it's probably the water stance or the moon stance. But there's different stances that are developed for you taking on, heavy type characters, spear characters, swordsman, arrowman. There's so many different types of characters in that game that you have to take on, that they had to make a very immersive skill tree. Skill trees are used in a lot of different games. It's basically a progression tree that lets you continue on. So their progression skill tree lets you upgrade your stances. You can upgrade your abilities as well as the ghost. And throughout the time you're playing the game, some of these abilities you will need to learn just to essentially get yourself further in the game. But you can do this thing which are called mythic tails. You don't have to do these at all. But the mythic tails are like legendary moves. So one, I can move like the speed of lightning. I've got another one which lets me do a flurry of attacks. By learning these abilities, you will become OP, very overpowered to certain characters in the game. This can also get you out of a lot of different problems and situations as well. The skill tree, they put a lot of time and effort into developing the skill tree. I had a lot of fun upgrading my characters' abilities. Also, as well, you can. So you have your skill tree for your character's abilities, but your weapons as well have an upgrade ability. So you also have the option to upgrade all of your weapons as well. So there's a lot of character progression that is there in place for you if you want to get fully upgraded weapons, if you want to fully upgrade your character's stances, and you want to learn everything that you need to learn. I honestly would say it will take a good 5 to 6 months to get everything that you need to get in that game. If you're not rushing it, you're not using a guide, and you're doing it at a leisurely pace. It's a great game, and it's lovely to see the progression of Jin Sakai from the start until leading towards the end, and all the different upgrades that you get throughout that time. You know, some of them, I don't want to reveal too many of them because I want you guys to delve into playing this game, but like you can get upgrades, for example, for your health. You can get upgrades for your weapons. You can get ghost upgrades as well. You can get upgrades that essentially let you do more moves in certain stances that you do. And it's very immersive, and it feels like you need these upgrades in order to complete the game. You don't have to essentially get each and every single one of them. You can complete the game without getting all the upgrades, which is what I did the first time. But the second time that I played this game, just because I wanted even more of this game to play, I made sure I got every single upgrade. I did everything I possibly could. So the skill tree in this game, they did particularly well. My only gripe would be if they could add a little bit more onto the skill tree, but that's probably because I'm someone who's completed the game for like nearly a year. But yeah, the skill tree is epic in the game. Number 4, animals, jewels, and quests. Okay, so we will get onto the DLC later into the game, into this interview, review, whatever you want to call it. The animals in this game. So the animals of the base game, we have some very cool foxes. We also have some birds as well. So foxes lead you to fox shrines. In this game, foxes, and in Japanese culture, are a very lucky, happy-go-lucky creature. If you follow these foxes, they will lead you to shrines. Some of them you gotta jump over mountains. Some of them you gotta follow streams. Some of them you gotta climb cliffs. Some of them they'll just lead you into a field, and you know there'll be a shrine. By doing these fox shrines, the more that you do, you can obviously get a trophy once you finish completing it. But they actually help you essentially upgrade your character. They also help you explore the world as well. There's been several times that I followed foxes and I've remembered where I followed foxes from, and then I've ended up in story points where like I've been ambushed and I've known more of the terrain because of these foxes. The foxes inhabit all of Ghost of Tsushima. You can find them everywhere. They're very friendly. You can also pet the foxes as well, which I thought was really cool. A lot of people got really gassed off the fact that you could pet these little foxes. They're pretty cute, the little animations for them. And yeah, I just thought it was a beautiful touch to add into a game that has so much darkness, because visually it's a beautiful game to look at, but there's so much darkness in like the plot, the story of everything that's going on. I mean, you look off into the distance and you just see a fun little happy-go-lucky fox just running around, just doing what it needs to do. And it's refreshing to see, I'm not gonna lie. And it's something I generally thought I was just like, when I seen trailers, I was like, what is this fox about? And then when I actually got to play the game and I was like devoting time to finding foxes and petting these foxes, I was like, okay, Sucker Punch, you did very well. You put in a mechanic that I didn't think that I would like, and you made me like something that I didn't like. And I'm a very opinionated person, so for you to do that and make me take time. Like, there was times I could have probably progressed further in the story a lot quicker, but I was like, oh, there's a fox. And I'd just run up and follow the fox for about 20, 30 minutes, you know? And they'd always lead you to something good. In-world quests. So there are some really great in-world quests that aren't the mainline story quests that you can encounter throughout the game. I don't want to reveal any of these quests because some of them are very heartfelt. Some of them are very stupid. But like one of them, you get to find out there's a guy who's pretending to be a samurai in a village when he's not actually a samurai, and you literally run him out of town, and you go to have a duel with him, and he just like he doesn't even he stands up ready to fight you in a duel, and he just like kind of goes, "Okay, please don't hurt me." There's another one where you take on bandits. There's another one where you're freeing people and everything from slavery and stuff. There's some really great immersive in-game quests that they kind of padded out the playtime for me. So for example, if I just did, I'm trying to think, the playthrough I did when I just did the story, I think I did the game in like 15 hours, I think, but not consecutively. That was like through the time I was able to get to play the game. Whereas when I played the game and I played all the side quests, I've got all the collectibles, and I've tried to find all the Easter eggs and all the cool little things that they've put in the game. I think that gameplay, the playthrough runtime, was probably about 40 odd hours. So there's a lot of extra gameplay that is added in there for padding. You don't need to do any of this. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't need to find the Easter eggs like I did, like the Sly Cooper outfit that you can get, because Sucker Punch obviously previously have made some very great games. There's a lot of other Easter eggs as well. I don't want to reveal too many of them. You can see them on my channel as well. I've put videos up because I've done every single Easter egg in the game. So if you want to see more into that, you can check my videos out for it. But that to me, adding in subtle little details and Easter eggs and stuff, and maybe because I'm a big nerd, you know what I mean? That's something that appeals to me. It just made me explore and love the world, the lore, the game, the universe, everything I was doing. It just made me feel more immersed into what I was doing. So I got a big up Sucker Punch on that one. Now I want to get onto something that really stemmed my love for this game. The duels. You probably wonder, what is a duel? I'm not about a Harry Potter duel with wands. I'm on about a duel with samurai blades. In this game, you are trying to free the island of these evil inhabitants that have tried to take over and try to rule over your people. Now, some people have become very weak-minded and have joined with the mongrels. Other people are already there to try and take you down. So there are different duels that you will have to do periodically throughout the time of you playing Ghost of Tsushima. You have to seek them out. They don't just come to you. They are listed on the mini-map and on the world map itself. So you have to go find these duels. One of my favorite ones that I've recorded is I think it's Duel of the Crashing Waves, I believe. And there's like a beautiful waterfall in the background, and you're on this little like rocky surface, and the music is so atmospheric. You break off into a one-on-one duel, which is essentially mano a mano, you versus the other person, and you just have to time your attacks, use the right stances, resolves as well. So you have a meter at the bottom of your screen. Resolves basically resolve your health, and that's essentially like how you get health back. You can use these periodically at different times to heal your character up as well. You can knock characters off balance with certain moves that you have. If you do a perfect dodge, you can also get like if you do a perfect dodge and then you do a perfect parry, you can get a window where you literally will knock a character off balance. You can just go to town on them. The music, the visual, the feeling, it's just what I wanted from a samurai game. Like, when it comes to duels, it's just what I wanted. And they captured it so well. They've captured it so well, from the different stances that you use, just to everything, the atmosphere, everything when you are in a duel, generally, for me, feels like you are in a proper samurai duel, and it's just so immersive that I went back and replayed the game for the third time just for the duels. I was not worried about any of the story, because at this point I had completed the story 3 times. I just wanted to play the duels. just because how immersive they are, how fun they are. And, I'm playing this on PS4. Could you imagine what this might look like on the PS5? They did a phenomenal job with. I don't really compliment a lot of games when it comes to music, but Ghost of Tsushima did an absolute phenomenal job when it comes to the music. Like, everyone who worked on the sound of this game is a G, because they fit this game so perfectly well with the correct music, the correct ambience, the correct feeling. The jewels in this game are absolutely epic. And the Easter eggs. Obviously, this game is made by Sucker Punch, as you guys may know. Sucker Punch have made other games in the past, like the Infamous series, and so on and so forth. So they have put Easter eggs that reference their previous games in this game that you can check out for yourself. There's some really cool and fun little Easter eggs. If you want to see the Easter eggs and you want them spoiled, go and check my channel out, because I have put videos up to show you guys the Easter eggs that you can obviously go and see right now. So let's move on to part 5. Number 5. So far we've talked about the story, free roaming, the upgrade system. Number 4 was animals, jewels, and in-world quests and Easter eggs. Number 5 is replayability. As I told you guys, I've played this game several times now. There are some other points of reasons why I've replayed this game, but we'll get into that later in this video. But right now, the story drags me back each and every single time. The immersiveness of the game drags me back each and every single time. It feels like this game for me is like Breath of the Wild with anime, like an older anime type art style. They mashed them together and they just put that out there for everyone to go and play. I have replayed this game so many times that I go back just to do duels, I go back just to explore the world, I go back just to explore the lore of it. But I'm a massive anime nerd and manga nerd, so this really sat at a very good place for me. It's a game I can flick on at any time and have ease playing it, just because of how I've immersed myself into playing that game. I've got so much time to replay that game at any point in time. If anybody says to me, I'm stuck on this mission, just give me an excuse and I'll replay Ghost of Tsushima right now. Like, trust me. I love the fact that we have different difficulty levels as well. Kind of like a easy, medium, hard. They're not called easy, medium, hard, but I'm just using that as example. You also can have it Japanese dubbed. You can also have it subtitled as well. And there is a mode which literally makes it look like the old Japanese and Chinese movies from back in the day, the black and white films, where if you want the true Japanese experience, I'll be honest, the first time I played it, I didn't play it this way. This is how I'm currently playing it now. But if you want the true Japanese experience and the true samurai experience of all of this, I would say to play the game in its hardest difficulty, put it into black and white mode as well, and put it as Japanese speaking with English subtitles. It gives the game a whole complete different feel, and visually, I would say to do that when you complete the game a couple of times, because you want to see all the color of this game. Like, this is visually is a very beautiful game, and I would never downplay any visual aspect of this game. But you want to see all the color and everything the first time round. Then, as I said, do it in the easiest mode to learn the game. Increase the difficulty. And then once you've done all the difficulty levels up to its highest difficulty level, then change it into Japanese with English subtitles with a black and white filter. And honestly, that is, I would say, at this moment in time, when you've completed as many times as I have, that is the pinnacle of playing that game. Like, how it looks and how it feels, yes, 100%, that is definitely the pinnacle of how you play this game. Another reason as well why I like this game, I've never used it, but I have a couple of friends who have disabilities, and they've told me there is a disability mode that is in Ghost of Tsushima. I looked into it, so there are a couple of little things in the world, and something's just come to mind. So you can do this thing called bamboo strikes. Bamboo strikes essentially upgrade your sword. So the more bamboo strikes that you do, the more sword upgrades that you can obviously have. Now, by doing these bamboo strikes, you have a timed window that you have to do. I think like one of the easiest ones, I think, is like square, circle, and then you start off, you have to press 3 commands, then you have to press 5 commands, then you have to press 7 commands. Now, that isn't exactly the hardest to do, but when you're on a time constraint, and obviously some people, are disabled playing a game, you need to make the game easier for other people to play. I like the fact that they've thought ahead and thought, like, you know, we want as many people to be immersed in this game and enjoy this experience as obviously other people do. So we're going to put in this accessibility mode. And I thought that was great, you know, because that helps so many people in able to play a game that maybe potentially couldn't have played a game because of a game mechanic that they put in. So big shout out to Sucker Punch for thinking of each and every single person that would play this game, because, you know, if anything, it just adds to the character and adds to how you feel about the company. I think that's great. So we're gonna talk about something now that actually blew my mind. So when I got this game, right, I watched a couple of trailers. So I was very tempted to play a game called Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, I believe, which is another samurai experience that came out, I think, 6 or 9 months prior to Ghost of Tsushima coming out. Now, a lot of people hyped about it, said, you know, there's some really cool fights, but that was it. And apparently, otherwise, that game is made off the fights. Otherwise, the rest of the game apparently is pretty boring. So, I was holding out for the longest time because I wanted a samurai game since I played Shogun, to really fit, you know, the lore of being a proper samurai game and make me feel immersed in playing a real samurai game. And Ghost of Tsushima, when I seen it, I was like, that game's made for me. I need to play that game. I need that game in my life. So I waited for it to come out, and I didn't buy Ghost of Tsushima when it first came out. I waited about 4 or 5 months, I think, and I was quite lucky because when I waited, and I got my game, because my game is a digital download, they had added the online mode. Now, it blew my mind because I never knew there was going to be an online mode. They didn't announce this at the start. You know, we were all told this was going to be a single player experience. And that's what I was focused on. I wasn't worried about playing with other people online or the aspects of having the ability to even play with or against other people online. So when I found this out, you know, I was pretty excited about it. Once I completed the main game and I went into playing the online mode, wow, that online mode is amazing. So something that I've always wanted from Call of Duty for the longest time is I wanted them to get rid of zombies and like do samurais and like you have swords or something, because I'd love to fight waves of enemies but with swords instead of using guns, because like I said, I really like, you know, anime and that sort of culture. The fact that you can do that in Ghost of Tsushima, you know, you can do raids, you can do story battles, like so you can do a story mode, which is you and your friend online. So say for example, one of your friends is a lot lower level than you are, and I did this with hundreds of people. You can help level them up throughout a linear story that is set in place that has different difficulties from from bronze, silver to gold. You can do all these different difficulties, help level each other up, and play through a linear story. You can also do raids. So the raids that you can do in this game is 4 people taking on waves and waves of enemies coming at you, and I believe it's like 25 waves in the hardest mode. It starts off with 15, then 20, then 25. You can also do nightmare mode as well, which is like when you fully max upgraded your character and you're like at the highest of high levels. You can go into these insanely hard modes. You can also do like these duels as well. They keep adding in all these new immersive modes for people to play, and it just adds to the strength of the game, because none of us expected it to have an online mode. And when they said they were going to add in an online mode, you know, for example, I could contact 3 of my friends right now, and all 4 of us could jump into Ghost of Tsushima and play against hordes of enemies. Or 2-on-2, we could like play against each other. You know, they added in modes. They added in a mini skill tree as well for the online. Like there wasn't enough skill tree points. They added in another little mini skill tree. You can also change and upgrade your weapons as well, so you have different slots to add for your character's weapons, and you can build your character how you want to build them. There's also 4 different types for online. So for example, your main character Jin Sakai, if you're able to use your main character Jin Sakai online, you would never lose. But what they've done to make the game more fun, when you play it online, they've broke it down into 4 initial types. And now from these 4 types, I believe there is an assassin, there is a hunter, there is a samurai, and I forget the last one is, what was the last thing? So you got a samurai, you get a hunter, you get an assassin. Let me see, just to fact check for you. And the last one is a ronin, which is more of a magic type user. These classes, or subclasses should I say, are what you get to choose for when you play online. Once you choose the one that you want and the one that fits your playstyle, you then basically just level that character up. Every time that you play the game, you will get weapons. These weapons you can sell in the store to buy even stronger weapons, or you can use them to infuse and upgrade your character. So it's very immersive in that sense. Once you complete the game, it's not done. If you play the online mode, there is a whole world of online, like it's called Legends mode. There's a whole world online that you can delve into. I know people that have bought the game. I wouldn't personally do this because I think it will rob you of the experience of the actual game. I know people that have bought the game have not even played any of the story. They've just delved into the online mechanics of it because they love the fact that they can play a samurai game with three of their other friends online, and it's really cool and immersive and it's fun. Like I said, we've got a couple of different modes that you play through. They also have Nightmare mode. Nightmare mode is like the hardest of hard mode for online, and it can only be played when you are near enough at like max level. You have to have coordination with other people as well when you're playing this, because it gets ridiculous. Like 2 hits and you're down. They'll put buffs on, so like everybody gets poisoned throughout the level or something, or like there's raining fire. It's very, very hard, but it's very rewarding when you win, because you can win a high level item that you would never normally be able to get. You can also purify cursed items as well. Cursed items in this game essentially are items, as they say, that have been cursed, and because they've been cursed, they've been locked to a certain level. When you purify an item, it becomes like one of the highest weapons leveled in the online mode, and it's just so much fun. Like, it's so much fun taking down waves of enemies. It's so much fun playing through all the different types, the 4 different types that you can choose. I love the fact that they added in the online mode, because there's nothing better than like playing a single player mode game and then they add in like a 2-player mode and you're like, oh yeah, let me show you what this game is like now. My only gripe is I wish you could use your character, your Jin Sakai, online, but if they did, I don't think the game would be very hard for anyone online, because honestly, my Jin Sakai has every single upgrade known to man in that game, and I probably would just be a beast. But anyways, yes, the online mode is fantastic. I bought the game at the right time. Like I said, when I bought it, they already added in the online mode. The online mode is free as well. You don't have to pay for the online. It's not like you got to pay for a season pass. There is DLC in this game, but it's not heavily pushed. I'll be honest. There was 2 versions of this game when it first came out. I know you can buy like this like Ultra Edition or whatever else. But you could have got one version of the game, which is the one I got, which is the bog standard version, or you could have got, I believe it's the definitive version or special edition version, which came with resolves. As I previously explained in this game, resolves just essentially give you a little bit of health back, and skill points. So skill points are what you use on the skill tree. So as I previously explained, you upgrade yourself using the skill tree. You need skill points in order to do upgrades on the skill tree. It's just essentially one upgrade at the start of the game. You don't need it. These are things that you can acquire in-game yourself. So I just bought the bog standard version of the game. And as I said, the online mode was already added from the start. I didn't explore into the online mode until I initially completed the first game. Once I completed my first playthrough of the game, I started playing the online. I got hooked because I've met, shout out to Marvin, shout out to Lucas, shout out to Lee, shout out to each and every single person that I have played that game with. At this moment, I played with like 3 people from Germany, and they are fantastic. They also work in major hospitals as well, so big shout out to them, because they help and save lives and save so many people. But this is what I mean. I've met so many different and diverse people because of this game. Because Ghost of Tsushima, that's another thing as well. Gets rid of all the kids. It's not an easy game to play if you want to play it online and you want to play it fun and well. Like, every person I played this game with has been like 16 years or older, because they have to really understand the mechanics of this game. when you play it online, if you play in a team and somebody doesn't want to be a team player, that sometimes can literally just ruin the experience of it. But this game, I've noticed that I've only seen it played by people who seriously want to progress in the game, which is great because it wheedles out all the people who just want to play it for the sake of playing it. You really can progress in this game. You really can enjoy yourself in this game, and there is a lot of fun that can be had in the different online modes. So yeah, check it out. They every week as well with the online mode, I believe they change out. It's either every week or every month they change out the different nightmare modes that they put in. They've added in new content as well. So originally you could only do 4 players versus the computer, which was like their raid mode, and their story mode. But the 2v2 that I was on about were 2 characters. So like, I don't know, me and man like Bidar, and it could be like Jago and Looms or something. Like we could all battle against each other. That was a newer mode that they added in because they listen to the fans. That's the other thing as well. I say with Sucker Punch, they listen to their fans. This is why this game is going to be getting a movie. And I'm not normally hyped for game movies, but I'm pretty hyped for this because they seem to have smashed it 10/10 out of the park. Like, this is a game created by a Western company, of Eastern culture, and the East are very happy with the game that this game that they've created. This game has been given across the board. I think its lowest rating is a 9, and its highest rating is a 10 out of 10. And that's not me tooting my own horn with this game. They smashed it out of the park. They've done so many things right, guys. So many things right. But anyways, I want to lead on to another mode right now. The other mode that we're going to talk about today is a mode I never thought I'd really talk about in games because it's not something I've ever really delved into in any other type of game. Maybe a little bit in GTA 5. And that's photo mode. So photo mode is normally a novelty they add into a lot of games. It's just kind of padding. But this game has got like so many filters, so many stamps, so many aspect ratios. There's so much you can immerse yourself really in the photo mode in this. I've taken some beautiful pictures, and I'm not someone that ever takes advantage of a photo mode in a game because generally it's just there. You want to take a nice picture, you take a nice picture. I have my PlayStation 4 background, not currently because I changed it, but for a year, I was just using screenshots from Ghost of Tsushima. Visually, that game is beautiful. You can take some really nice, beautiful shots in that game. Everything I capture is on the PS4, but I've seen some fantastic stuff as well on the PS5. And I think they knew just how visually beautiful their game is that people were going to utilize photo mode. There is over like 20 million photos right now on Twitter and other social medias that have been shared through the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 of Ghost of Tsushima. And honestly, they actually smashed it out of the park. The only game I could compare it to when it comes to photo mode would probably be Spider-Man Miles Morales. But they have way more filters. Way more filters, you've got your basic like Instagram filters like black and white, negative, so on and so forth. But then you can add in stamps like Ghost of Tsushima, like Japanese stamps. You can add in visual effects as well, like you can add in winds, you can add in lightning, you can change the lighting, you can change the time of day, you could change your character's appearance of what they're wearing, you can have them blood splattered. There's so many cool little different aspects of the photo mode of that game that I never thought that I'd be doing a review on a game and I'd be talking about how much I love the photo mode of this game. And this game visually is so beautiful. There's so many points that you can stop the game and just go into photo mode and look around and just see all the wonder of this game. But the real reason you want to use photo mode is a mechanic in the game that I guess they left in there to kind of, I don't know, maybe they just thought that it'd be good for us all. You can use photo mode when you go into a battle to actually get an advantage on the enemies. If you click into photo mode, it pauses the game, live pauses the game, and you're able to move around the area that you're in to a certain extent. And you can then, spot horsemen, you can then spot arrowmen, you can then spot shieldmen, you can then spot spearmen, you can then spot swordmen by using photo mode. It's great to get you out of tough situations, like say you're getting shot by an arrow and you don't know where you're getting shot from. Go into photo mode for a second, have a look around, explore the area, and use this um, to make visual notes for yourself and take advantage of it, because like I said, you can take some really beautiful pictures and images in Ghost of Tsushima, and I really implore you guys to check it out for yourselves. So next up is next to no microtransactions, like I said. So there are a couple of microtransactions, but there's not many. So within this game, as I said, you can buy the definitive edition of it, which essentially comes with a couple of upgrades. They're not technically classed as microtransaction because it's just like a different version of the game. But they did make DLC, which is Icky Island. Now you don't have to buy this. It's optional. There's no way at all that you need to buy this in order to fully complete the game. Icky Island is a DLC that they made recently. I completed the game without it. But Icky Island DLC lets you expand more so on the game, essentially, because it's an expansion pack. There are more animals you can pet. There are more tasks that you can do. There's a new island that you can go to explore. There's more collectibles to collect. There's an extended part of the story that you can delve into finding about, which is heavily based around witchcraft. New enemy types as well. You can get horse armor for your horse. There are new upgrades as well because of this DLC. And I would implore you guys, once you complete the game, to buy the DLC or buy the definitive edition of Ghost of Tsushima right now, which comes with the DLC. It is a great DLC. There is no other DLC in Ghost of Tsushima. There's no other microtransactions. This is the only thing they put in. And with a game that looks how beautiful as it does, I would have thought it was going to be flooded with microtransactions and season passes and all that stuff. But no, Ghost of Tsushima have focused on making a great game. They focus on looking after their audience, and they focus on continuing to please the people that love and enjoy the game, like I do. So they didn't want to push microtransactions down your throat. They didn't want you to force you into paywall situations where you had to pay to win or whatever else. Ghost of Tsushima can literally be played without the DLC, and the DLC is only story orientated DLC, so you won't lose anything for the online mode. But you don't need to download it. I would implore you to download it though, because there are some beautiful scenes, great visuals. You learn more about Jin Sakai. You get to explore a new island. There's new enemy types as well. There's new animal types. There's new abilities. Visually, obviously, a new place to explore as well. But I just love the fact that nowadays gaming is very primarily based towards microtransactions, season passes, DLC, in-game items, getting you to buy stuff, getting you to spend more money. No. Ghost of Tsushima, one thing I will say, right? There's not many times. Now it's gone on sale quite a lot, but when it first came out, there wasn't many times that it went on sale. Because it's worth its money. That's why. It's one of them games like Breath of the Wild that never loses its replayability and never really loses its value. I don't have any sort of gripes or any sort of sour feeling towards this game. I just wish it was longer. That's my only thing is I wish the story was slightly longer. That's it. But there are so many great story points and visuals and graphics. Like as I said, I'm playing on a PS4 and I'm playing on the newer PS4. I'm not playing on the original PS4, but I'm not playing on a Pro. Okay, I'm not playing on a PS5. I'm playing on a PS4, and visually this game is beautiful to me for what I see. Now think about that. I'm using a PS4. I'm not using the Pro, as I said, and I'm not using a PS5. Imagine what this is going to look like on a PS5 and the PS4 Pro. If you guys have seen the gameplay that I put up primarily throughout the whole of this year, me playing Ghost of Tsushima, then you will know you can take some beautiful images. You can take some great pictures. You can really, really immerse yourself in playing this game. And there has been times that I've stopped and literally paused and had to go into photo mode because I'm like, wow, look at this hilltop. Wow, look at the lighting. Look at the wind. Like even like one thing in this game they did really well was like dust particles. There's like points where like you'll see fireflies and whatever else, and it just looks beautifully so lovely to look at. And I've never really done that in a game. I've never really stopped in a game to take advantage of the photo mode due to just how the visuals and the graphics look and the sound. The sound team, oh my god, mwah, the sound team killed it. Like you were like the ambience of this game is phenomenal. Like I'm struggling to find something bad to say about this game. Like I love the music, I love the sound, I love the gameplay, I love the DLC, I love the in-game, just the world, how it feels like, and that brings me on to my last point, the feeling of this game. This game feels epic. You feel like a samurai. You feel like you have bought the experience that you have paid for, and you generally feel like this game just draws you back. It's just such a beautifully well done game. Sucker Punch, if I had a hat on, I'd take it off. You know what I mean? I gotta take my hat off to you. Absolutely great game. Fantastically done. Brilliant story, great narrative. Strong online components. Such replay value. Great graphics, great visuals. Great storyboard design. Yeah, there's literally nothing bad I can say about this game. But I need to remember one thing before I go. So, Ghost of Tsushima, you can play a flute. You can actually learn different songs on your flute as well. And there's actually a really cool story regarding learning some different songs on your flute. It's not the same flute as this, but I was inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, so I bought myself a cool little flute. You can play this flute at different times. You can use the flute to change weather as well. And I think it's really cool that it fits with the Japanese aesthetic that I'm a samurai in this game. And at any moment in time, I could just literally stop, press a button, and I'm just walking around like this going... Obviously, a lot better than how I'm playing. But yeah, from everything, from me to you guys, take it from me to you. This is probably one of the best games that has ever existed on the PS4. Probably will continue to be one of the best games that ever exists on the PS5 as well. They absolutely smashed it. Shout out to Sucker Punch. You made a complete different game that nobody expected you guys to make. You kind of just went away into the Batcave and came out with this fantastic, phenomenal game that I enjoy and millions of countless other people enjoy. You know, you're able to impress Japan as well. You're able to impress that sort of culture, which is a massive thing because Western games don't ever normally get it right. But they come out and said minimum 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10, you know. Music, sound, gameplay, graphics, the online mode, the story, how the game feels, the replayability, the world, everything about this game. I struggle to find something bad about this game. I have got so much love and time for this game that, you know what, I'm probably going to go and play this after this. So, without further ado, I hope this was a good review. I hope I broke down the game to you, you know, on all the points of everything that happens in it. If you have obviously enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like on this video. There was a couple of things that I didn't get into. I didn't tell you every single collectible, so you can collect like singing crickets. You know, you can... Well, oh, another thing as well. When you complete the game and you go back and replay the game for the next time you play the game, you unlock a new item to collect, which are ghost flowers. So in the game, you have different armor that you acquire throughout different story mission points and whatever else in the game. You can dye your armor by going to a dye merchant once you've completed the game. So this would technically be like your second playthrough. You can go to a dye merchant, but in the newer game, you can use, as in your second playthrough, you can use ghost flowers, which essentially let you dye your costume into different colors that you wouldn't have got in your first playthrough of the game. You don't need to do this, but you can make some really visual, cool looking armors, as well as getting into, obviously, now that we've talked about the game, you can get a Bloodborne armor, which is really cool. You can get a Kratos God of War armor as well. which is pretty cool. You can get a Sly Cooper armor as well, which is pretty cool. They've added in like, an Infamous armor as well, so you can get an Infamous Second Son, Bloodborne, and God of War armor. I have all three of them. If you want the steps and you want to know exactly how to like get them and where they are, you can check out my guide videos that I've done. But yeah, you can do so much things in this game, and the fact that they add in like new collectibles when you complete the game to give you more replayability, I think it's just really cool. But one of my favorite things to do in the game is just generally just what I like to do, right? I like to walk around, play the flute for as long as I possibly can. I try and stand near like an open road or something. And when you go down, you'll normally see bandits at some point in the future. And they'll walk up to you and you'll have an option to stand off against them. When you stand off against an enemy, if you upgrade your abilities correctly, you can do like a one-hit kill strike. But you can chain it out to like 5 people, so you can just go whoosh, 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 and 5 people are dead. Do you know how epic that makes you feel? Like, do you know how epic that makes you feel? Where you just do, you just pull out a blade and you just take out like half of the people that are coming for you. Or, going in the sneaky tactic and doing everything is like using smoke bombs and using flaming arrows and all them sorts of good things in your kunais. It really depends on your play style. As I said, you could be the honorable samurai or you could be the sneaky fox. Or it depends how you play and how you want to do things. But yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say about this game. Put so much time and effort into it, completed it several times, played through it all the time. If anybody is stuck at all in the online mode and wants any help, I will help level you up to level max in that game. Like I said, give me any sort of excuse or any reason to play Ghost of Tsushima. Trust me, I will be back. You cannot keep me away from this game. Sucker Punch, I think you absolutely smashed it. I think this was probably your best game to date. And I love the Infamous series and other games that you guys have done in the past. But this holds a very special place for me because I have never played a game that I have not wanted to put down. Like every game at some point I've got annoyed and be like, I don't want to do this. No, Ghost of Tsushima is one of the games I don't turn it on because I know I'm going to lose a good couple of hours of my day by playing that game. So yeah, this was my very first review, my very first Game of the Year review. Obviously these ain't going to happen every single year. They will happen once a year. I've got a Game of the Month episode that will be uploaded at some point this month as well, with my co-host who does the most. If you know who that is, then you know already who that person is. Got some really cool videos as well that will be coming out throughout the rest of this year. So happy New Year's Eve, happy New Year's Day, depending on when you get to see this. I appreciate you all and all the time and effort that you guys have put into watch and continue growing my channel with me. I appreciate that so much. We've been doing YouTube for nearly 7 years now, and you guys have helped me grow from strength to strength. So from me to you, thank you very, very much. If there's anything that you think that I missed in this review, if there's anything that you think that I didn't go over in enough detail, if there's something you think that I should talk about more so, leave it in the comment section down below and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. If you're stuck on Ghost of Tsushima, whether it's the online mode, whether it's the story itself, or it's a collectible or it's an item, anything like that, leave it in the comment section down below. Or if you feel like I haven't got back to you quick enough, you can go and contact me over on Twitter, which is General GENERAL _MUSIC. Sorry, General_music. That's what you need to type in. I'll put the link in the description down below so you're able to contact me if you feel you need to. But, as I've been saying, Sucker Punch really killed it with this game. Hence why I got my Game of the Year. This wasn't easy for me to do. Just to let you know, some people who were in the runners-up for my Game of the Year was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a absolutely phenomenal game. Got a lot of love and time for that game. Breath of the Wild was another one that could have got my Game of the Year, but I put way more time into Ghost of Tsushima than anything else this year. So they were the 3 games that were considered, and of course, out of them 3 games, Ghost of Tsushima won, just due to, as much as I love Breath of the Wild, I'd rather play Ghost of Tsushima, just because it being an older game, just with a great art style, and yeah. So anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the review. I hope this was informative. I hope I was able to break down, key points for you guys of what's good about this game, what I enjoyed about this game, all the different aspects from the online mode to the story to gameplay mechanics to microtransactions to roaming around in the game. Also, you will develop a deep love for your horse in that game because I don't want to ruin any of the story, but some very traumatic things happen, and I love free roaming in that game. I'll turn it on and I have missions and stuff to do and I'll have quests and things to do, but half the time I just like playing the flute, rolling around on the horse, exploring the world of Tsushima, taking in the islands and experiencing the experience that I paid for, because that game, to me, if I was to give this game a rating, it gets a 98 out of 100. And the only reason it loses 2 points, just give me some more story, please. That's it. There is nothing else I can possibly think of regarding this game. So, from me to you, I've been GMG News. You guys have been my lovely audience. If you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for your continued support, because it means the world to me. You've helped me grow from strength to strength. If you want to see more videos like this, then leave some submissions in the comment section down below. What do you think my game of the year will be for the end of this year? As this is now obviously the first day of January. And we've got more stereo content coming very, very soon. That's an audio podcast that I do. We're going to have a little variation and change on that as well. So, go and check that out. Shout out to Out the Box as well. That's a visual podcast that I do over on YouTube with Jago and Man Like Beato. So, a big shout out to both of them. Obviously, more gameplay and videos to come from me. More Pokemon videos coming in the future as well. And yeah, I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you are new here, go and slap the notification bell. That way you'll be informed each and every single time that I upload new content. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed watching this video. If there's something I missed, go and put it in the comment section down below. And if you think this video would help someone else out, because I know at this time of the year a lot of people have just got new PS4s, PS5s, PS4 Pros or whatever else, and they've got new games, and they want to delve into playing a game, then maybe you should watch a review before you get into doing it. I don't know. But as I said, if it's been informative and this video has been helpful, then obviously leave a like on the video. I've tried to talk as much as I can in depth about the game. I didn't want to use a script or anything because I played this game so much I don't need to use a script. But I wanted to make sure that I had key points, reasons for you to check this game out or to check my review out and understand a bit more so about the game. So I hope this was informative. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that this does help someone. So yeah, I've been GMG News. You guys have been my lovely audience. Keep on smiling. Never give up on yourselves. What great games do you think are going to be coming out this year for the PS4 or the PS5? And do you think that there will be any sort of continuation of Ghost of Tsushima? So will they make a Ghost of Tsushima 2? Will they add more DLC? Will it be free DLC? Will it be paid DLC? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And who do you think they're going to have to play Jin Sakai, Lord Shimura, and all the other different characters from Ghost of Tsushima? Because they are planning to apparently make a Ghost of Tsushima movie, as they've already started making like the Uncharted movie. I believe that's already made now. So, Sony also have a massive production company that they make films with. So I have high hopes. And yeah, it'd be fun to see in the future. Game adaptations into movies sometimes aren't always the best, but this is a really great game, and I think Sony understand the severity of how many people love this, so I think they will, they'll definitely do their due diligence when it comes to making a great movie adaptation of a fantastic game. And I can't wait for that to come out as well. I'm really perplexed of who they're gonna have playing Jin Sakai and all the other characters, and how we're gonna see this film. Is it gonna be the perspective of Jin as a child, or is it actually gonna be running through the game? But either way, I'm excited. I'm pretty hyped. So yeah, when that does come out, I will definitely be one of the people who either buys it online when it's available to watch online, You can buy it online, or if I'm able to see it in the cinema, I'll go see it in the cinema. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna catch you all soon. Happy New Year's Day, Happy New Year's Eve. Keep on smiling, keep yourself safe. This was my review of my game of the year, which was Ghost of Tsushima. See you soon.